How's it going, guys? So I haven't posted in a while. We've been busy doing a lot of other stuff. I've had some other things come up. I just haven't really had time to work with much. And truth be told, I actually came out today to kind of start working on the Fiero project a little bit further. And the short version is that will come together, but every time I touch something, something else breaks or it doesn't work or something. I actually spent about 2.5 hours today putting a throttle cable in it, only to find that the throttle cable is bad. That's surprising considering it's 30 some odd years old, came out of a wrecked car, and who knows what its history is. So it's bad, so I need another one. But in any case, I need a win because it's not really working. But the weather here has gotten very nice. Finally, in Central Texas, it's dropped below 100 degrees. We just got our first real cool front for the year. We're down in the 70s during the day, which is kind of a big deal for this product. It's something I've been wanting to try because it gets marketed very heavily on YouTube, and I've seen a few people use it, and I'm curious to see how it works for me. So this is a wipe-on clear coat. I don't know all the details about the differences between Vice Grip Garage and Poppy's Patina and if they're the same company or what, but basically it's a mixed together at home clear coat kit. It's an automotive clear that you can wipe on a vehicle or spray on a vehicle. We're going to do wipe on because I don't feel like all the work involved with masking and hanging plastic and all kinds of stuff. But so it's fairly simple, and we're going to do it to the truck because the truck doesn't have a clear coat on it. It's just a single stage paint. And while you saw in a previous video, I was able to kind of buff it out, make it look nicer. It has no clear, and it has started to become chalky again, actually pretty badly. And it just is what it is. There's not much paint there to save. So the best thing to do to preserve it is if I can put some kind of a clear on it, hopefully it'll last. Now, their instructions say basically that always wear your PPE and all of that nonsense. Ventilated area, they said they want 77 degrees ambient temperature or less. So, again, that's been the thing. This has been sitting on my shelf for months because it's been too hot. You mix it to an 8-to-1 ratio between the two. I'll show you how to do that. I got to go get a cut for that. I've driven all over my small town and can't find one. I got to drive to the next town to an actual paint supply store and buy one. Because apparently all the hardware stores magically realized they're out today. Like, okay. So I got to go get one. But I can still get started on some stuff today. So mix it up 8-to-1. And then it's supposed to be able to last for a couple hours, I think, at that temperature around 77 degrees, give you to work with it. Their kits are sold basically as 1 quart of the actual clear, and then you've got your catalyst, and it's supposed to, they say it does 1 long bed single cat pickup per kit. So, okay. We'll see. That's what I got, so hopefully it'll do it. But basically what I need to do with it is mix up a bunch of Dawn dish soap so that there's no more grease or anything, and take a Scotch-Brite pad and basically rough wash the whole thing. Luckily, since my paint's not in very good shape, the entire reason we're doing this doesn't matter. In fact, this will probably make it look a little better for a very short period of time. But scuff the whole thing with the rough side of the sponge and some Dawn dish soap. Try and get all the oxidation and everything we can off the paint, get it cleaned up. Any dirt, debris, grease, all that stuff, the Dawn should pretty much get rid of all of that, and then let it dry overnight. The idea is hopefully it will apply it tomorrow afternoon or evening because you do need to be in the shade, so I need the sun to move over there. But so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and mix up a bunch of soap and stuff, scrub the whole truck down, and then next time you see me, I'll be mixing it up. I'll show you how to mix it. We'll have the truck in the garage, and we'll start wiping this stuff on. We'll see how it comes out. this stuff pretty closely at this point. I think I've got a pretty good idea of what needs to be done for application. We've got, we've scuffed it down. It's sitting in the shade. It's dry. Should be able to apply it. It says to mix this stuff 8-to-1. So 8 parts clear, 1 part catalyst. My guess is they gave you a little more of this than you need, but you do need a cup like this. And as I understand it, the way this works is you just go across the top, find the one labeled 8-to-1. Start with your first part, pour it in. It'll probably go up to about that 3, and then you just pour your second part until you reach the next 3, and then mix, and you should be good. So let me make sure I don't have any grass or dirt or anything getting in this cup, and we'll pour it. And then, as I understand it, basically just take one of these things, dip it all in it, squeeze it up, and wipe it on. Be liberal with it. We'll see how it works. I'm kind of excited. See how this goes. So, all right, let's mix. All right. A little scary. Kind of exciting at the same time. I'm excited to see how this thing turns out. I think it'd be pretty cool. All right, so. Mix it all up. So it's kind of what I feared, actually. So we'd be in the middle. Actually, no, we're not. On 8-to-1, we're just under the 4 right here. Let's settle a second. We're just under the 4, so we'll go to just under the 4 on the second part. Like this. And I'm suspicious, based on these quantities, it might be the whole thing, but just make sure. Or it doesn't quite get there, so hopefully this is supposed to be enough for all of it. It does say that if you mix this like this, you have, at 77 degrees, you have 2 hours to work with it. So mix it thoroughly and wipe it on. I believe it said cure time is about 20 minutes and full cure is 24 hours. So let me mix it as thoroughly as I can, and I'm really curious. It'll be interesting to see how this wipes on. A bit longer. Make sure I don't have any excuse that it wasn't mixed. Off chance this starts melting the paint, I'm going to go ahead and do the roof first. Just go ahead and get my little applicator full, hopefully full. Alright, let me see what this does. shiny. Okay. Let's see. Doesn't appear to be melting the paint. Okay, well. Roof. Remember, I'm not too worried about the roof. Just want to make sure it doesn't melt the paint. Okay. I'd say it looks pretty good. Move around the rest of it. shinier. Let's see what we think. See. Worst case is just a bunch of wet sanding because now you have a clear coat. I guess that's one way to look at it. Wow. First impressions. That's nice. I mean, it's obviously wiped on. It's not perfect. It's got some little runs in it, but in a couple spots, but that's nice. It does say full cure is 24 hours. So we're gonna have to wait for that. See what it looks like about this time tomorrow. But oddly enough, one of the spots that blows me away the most is the tailgate. For whatever reason, the way the sun was back here, this got baked completely chalky flat. And now it's actually shiny. And it's actually reflecting the sunlight. I'm happy. That's nice. Like I said, there's some spots that aren't perfect, but I mean, you can see the actual reflections in the hood now. It's actually shiny. So I'll have to come back and look at it tomorrow, figure out if it needs any wet sand or buff or anything, but that came out nice. Alright guys, it's been a couple days. I've given the clear coat plenty of time to cure. Been able to drive it around, kind of enjoy it, kind of see what I think about it. And I'm pretty happy with the clear. I think given the fact that this truck was the way it was and as chalky as the way it was, the way this clear is laid down really hasn't been that bad. It shined it up. I think it extended the life of the paint. A few takeaways from it though, or at least that I'm taking away. The kit that I bought from Vice Grip Garage is I guess their big one that's for a single cab truck, or single cab long bed. And near as I can tell, it was about twice what I actually needed. So if I were doing this again, and I might still come back and do some work with it, I would mix up about half of it, wipe the truck, and then I would actually go ahead and get some wet sand, like some 3000 grip sandpaper, wet sand the stuff you're not happy with, and then come back and reapply. Also, there's a couple minor spots I missed, little place on the tailgate, little place on this fender, but overall, for a truck with a dent in the hood and chalky paint, and you know, it's really this, the thought process with this vehicle for me is really, it's more of a piece of equipment. This isn't a restoration truck, this isn't a show truck, this isn't trying to win anything. This is a piece of equipment. It gets mechanical repairs, it gets what it needs to be on the road and look halfway decent while it does it. So, but I'm pretty happy with it. It came out really nice. You know, I hope it
kind of is a decent test run for you guys. You can kind of see if you want to do it to yours. I think it's worth doing. If you've got something like, again, if you need a show vehicle, I think I'd go with spraying it at the very least, and I'd probably do a lot more prep. But just for being able to wipe it on and make the truck look good, I'd say for an afternoon and then a morning, it's of work, turns out pretty nice. So, in any case, I hope you enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really enjoy that. It encourages me to keep doing this stuff, and it helps me out. So, if you were looking for a Fiero update, sorry that we didn't get to that. I just keep hitting little snag after snag after snag. It will get done, but it's going to be a little bit. So just bear with me, but I'll be getting back to that probably in the next video, something like that. I've also been very busy lately, so it's just been slowing me down. So I'll keep doing these. It's just going to be a little bit on a slower basis. So, but again, thank you for watching. Have a good day.